Good morning, everyone. Or at least for me, it is good morning. Very early in the morning. Hopefully, you can all hear me, and hopefully, you can also see where I am right now. I see several people are joining. Yes, it is beautiful for sure. Just showing you the beach, a beautiful beach. And hello to everyone already joining. Maybe for some of you, it is in the middle of the night, somewhere in the evening, during the daytime. For me, it is not even 6 a.m. So my wife said you're crazy that you're starting a tour at this time of the day because you're on holiday. Oh, Pauline, thank you by the way for the tip already. I didn't even do anything, just showing you where I am. Just showing you the beach where I am. Oh, there's a beautiful reflection by the way here on the side. So Katie is saying I had a difficult day, so I need this. Okay, let's try to make this tour a little calm so we can get the zen feeling of just the sea. For me to wake up a little without coffee. I didn't even have my coffee yet. Just basically, I'm just rolling out of my bed. But it is worth it. Look at this. Look at the wonders of nature. Did you see over here? Yeah, that's one of the things that's always really nice if you're waking up early. There are not so many people yet, or at least compared to how it was yesterday evening for me when there were thousands of people on the beach. Ah, Sarai, that's thank you for the advice. I'm gonna check this without my earphones because there are not a lot of people. So and there's also not a lot of wind. So I think I can do that. One moment. So now you should hear me directly, and maybe also the sound a little better. The sound of the waves. Let's walk a little in the water. Time for a swim. Is this better? Okay, that's good to know. We will officially start the tour in 6 minutes from now. Oh, I have to remove my flip flops. So, and I don't know how it looks at your side of the world. I know in the Netherlands, where I'm from, and most of you I think know, it is it is a typical end of the year day where it's gray, a little rainy, but not here. It is beautiful. It is still not very warm for a tropical place. I think it's in Celsius about 23 at the moment, 23 degrees. The water is 25 degrees, so nice and warm. So no problem to walk here just in the morning. So I can have a morning bath if I want. Let me show you my face for a moment. So this is me on a tropical island. This is not the type of how do you say, the type of surrounding that I'm normally using, of course. So, and hello Long Island, hello Richard, hello Diane also, and Sharon and Peter and a lot of other people. And hi Casey. Where it's getting dark in some parts of the world, it's getting light in this part of the world. So, and I'm really excited to show you a little, to walk over the beach, to tell you something about where we are. But not only that, and hallo Maastricht, welkom. Um, so, and Dunya is saying I was just with Patrick in Canada where it is minus 40 degrees. Okay, then we're going from, if you just were there, then we're going from minus 40 to plus 25. So 65 degrees Celsius higher. So this is wonderful. This is really a wonderful day. So we'll start in 4 minutes from now. Let me show you a little more of the background and not my face, because most of you most probably will know my face. And yes, Joe is saying stay inside, Emily. Yeah, if it's minus 40, I would do that too. I wouldn't go outside. I'm not used to these temperatures. I'm also not so used to the temperatures that we have over here. Just to give you the feeling of how it looks. A moment, let's go a little more. Let's show a little more the sides with the palm trees everywhere. And the first people are waking up now. And hopefully the reception is good for all of you. So you can see me and it's not laggy and everything. Oh, there are not a lot of people yet on the beach, so. But I'm not the only one, as you can see, that wants to see the first part of the day when waking up. It is cool for me to see where we're starting in 2 minutes. It's cool for me to see also several people from Australia. Normally, I don't have so many people from Australia because, yeah, the time zones are against us in Europe, but not over here, of course. Yeah, it is a beautiful scenery for sure. Let me go a little more nearby. So we have a little reflection in the sand. So, and if you have questions, just wait until 2 minutes from now, or 1.5 minutes. And in 1.5 minutes from now, I will officially start the tour. And then we can talk about all the things that we're seeing over here. So, yeah, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. And Dorley, I will tell you soon. You can look already on the map. This is not Amsterdam. That's the only thing I can say already. This is for sure not Amsterdam. So, see how beautiful it is from the perspective. I think this is in this location, I should call this the crab view, because these little crabs are normally going just running over the beach to the water or back. So, oh, and if it's midnight, that's even more. That's beautiful. So, okay, I'm just gonna show you my face. It is it's 6 a.m. for me. Good morning, everyone, and good morning in another location than where I'm normally touring. Most probably, Most of you are knowing me from the Netherlands, maybe sometimes from Belgium, but now I am on the other side of the world, and I am here when the sun is just getting up on the, by the way, the shortest day of the year, because I'm still in the northern hemisphere, uh, and I'm on an island. I'm on an island in the Philippines at this moment. The island is called Boracay. Boracay. And it is somewhere, if you look at the Philippines is a lot of islands, 7,000, about 7,000 in total. And this is just one of them and one of the most popular ones. So I saw some people already saying like, oh, I see a lot of people already. And that's true. It is a busy little island, uh, what we see now is mainly locals and some youths, some people going to work already. And yes, it is a beautiful location. So what I'm gonna do is the coming 45 minutes. I'm gonna show you a little. We're gonna walk over the beach. You can ask me anything, of course, about this location. I'm not a local guide in the Philippines, as you maybe know already. But I have been here several times, and it's also good to know that my wife is from the Philippines. So that is why I have been here several times already. I met her over here, and so we're going back. We're going back, and it's now has been 3 years ago because of COVID. So I haven't been here for 3 years, and I'm happy. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back and to show you around in what is now also part of my family, or a country that is related to my family. So okay, I'm just gonna change the screen so we can see where I am. First, people are just coming out of the water for a morning swim. So now I really all wanna welcome you on this beautiful island. And I said already, the name of the island is Boracay in the Philippines, one of the 7,000 islands. And I've been here now for about a week. For about a week, I'm here. The first was on a more remote island, and now since about 2 days, we finally made it to to come over here to the island of Boracay, and that is for some people. If you're in Europe and if you're saying, okay, I want to have a beautiful island where you can have fun, where you can party, where you can all do all that kind of things, then you're going to Ibiza. That is in Europe. So a lot of Dutch people also are going to Ibiza if they want to do that. If you're living in Southeast Asia, then a lot of people are going or to Bali, but it also has a little different feeling, or they're going to the island where I am right now, the island of Boracay. And why is this place so very famous? That is mainly because of the beach that you're seeing over here. This beach is in total, it's called White Beach, so it is a white Christmas. It is almost a white Christmas with this beach for all of us. A Christmas with 25 degrees Celsius, and it's a white beach that's going all the way from about 1.5 kilometers that way, and also we can go around. We can go around, and the whole strip is about 4 kilometers, so 2.5 miles in total. And what you see is that the sand over here, is almost completely white, completely white. So that's why they're calling it White Beach. And it is also is at this moment it is low tide. So you see that you can see that the beach is a little wider. It's getting high tide now again. So slowly the water level will go up again. But and yeah, if you're asking about the time, it is 5 minutes over 6 a.m. in the morning. So, and I thought for people in the US, and in Canada that maybe want to join a tour. So, and also in Australia because uh, my friends in Australia are normally not doing my tours because of the crazy time zone differences. But in this part of the world, I can finally also show them something about where I am right now. So, and I'm traveling here. Of course, it is for a holiday to see the friends of to see Michelle's family, to see her friends again, but also to relax after again a crazy year. I think the third crazy year in a row, and I know it's finally perfect for people living in Australia. Just to give you a little the feeling, and also look at the skies over here. How beautiful they are. Yesterday I was here doing uh, doing a tour with the sunset. There were thousands of people on the beach, literally. Not kidding, thousands of people. Uh, yeah, Michelle is my wife. That is true. That is true. And yeah, there is enough space here for everyone. Although, if you're coming later in the day, you will see how many people are coming over here. It is in the Philippines one of the most famous places to travel to. So there are a lot of local tourists, people from the big cities, for example, from the city of Manila, uh, the capital of the Philippines, and there are living about over 100 million people in total in this country. But not only that, there are also about 20 million people living in the capital, and of course, there is a middle class and a higher class that is starting to travel more and more, and a lot of them are just coming over here to relax. To give you an idea, from the capital, it is about 1 hour in the plane, and then after the plane, you still have to take the boat. And Bobby is asking, "Where's Michelle?" She's still asleep. She's still asleep, and it's also because she she had some friends over here, and also yeah, she had some friends from Manila that were flying over here to join us on this island. And but yeah, I said already before, it is not only an island for the beach; it's also a place where a lot of people are coming to enjoy, to party, to go out in the clubs and everything. So she was later than I yesterday, still outside with some friends when I was asleep already. So, and Suzanne is asking, is any fishing here? Yeah, that's maybe also something interesting to tell about this location, because nowadays this island is famous for tourists, and that's also the main form of income. Uh, but you can maybe imagine that this wasn't always the case. It's only since the 80s, that this started to become a popular place. First, only with backpackers, and nowadays it is more mass tourism. What you can see over here. So, but there was a time before tourism, in a time where there were not living 40,000 people on this island. Nowadays, almost 40,000 people. Uh, not 400 hotels. No, it was a simple place where people were living from agriculture, and of course also from fishing. Because around Boracay there used to be There used to be a lot of coral reefs, but nowadays there are not so many anymore. And that is not because of tourism. Yeah, that's also because of tourism. It's even less than it was before. And look, by the way, at this view. Wow, this is almost unbelievable, isn't it? And also listen to the waves going down again. Almost feeling like we are in this warm sea, the southern Chinese Sea. Someone was saying that already before. That's the sea that we're seeing over here. No, but back um, to former times between the 50s and the 80s. This place was quite famous for the fishing. But what happened is the fishermen over here, they started using a new technique to get more fish. And we are calling that cyanide fishing. And cyanide, I think most of you know what cyanide is. Really a poison, so they were using cyanide to fish. And they were using that on the corals. On the corals, placing cyanide. So you can imagine that if you're placing that on a coral, that some of the fish were getting in a sort of a shock. But not only that, it's also killing most of the life, killing most of the life that is underwater. So, and the second thing is that not only that is, yeah, you can, with cyanide, fish are getting in a sort of a shock. So you can get a lot of fish with you. But the sad thing is that about 80% is not surviving it. So, because they were fishing, of course, for food, but also on the coral reefs, a lot of these fish were for to have for people in their aquarium. So you can imagine, yeah, then you have a lot of fish from the coral reefs, all these beautiful colors that you can sell, but you're also killing almost everything else on the coral. So the coral itself is almost gone, and also most of the fish that they were eating. So nowadays there's not so much fishing anymore as there used to be. They're of course trying to. They're now trying to get the coral alive again, but that is not very easy because there is still some coral, but also a lot of tourists nowadays that want to go there, that wanna dive, that wanna do some scuba diving, for example. Um, and that is something that started in the 90s, 80s, 90s. But that also made sure that the number of fish that there was and the number of corals that there is even less than it was before. So it's nowadays highly protected, or a lot more protected than it was before. And just to give you an idea, I'm just going here over this. This is beautiful, by the way. Let's go a little over the pier. The pier is now still very quiet because it is early in the morning. But this is the location where people can go and take a boat, for example, for island hopping, so going for to islands nearby. But not only that, also if you want to go snorkeling or all kind of other activities, they're starting over here. And yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Thank you, Andrew. You see, there's now only one boat, and the first people waiting are also, and it is. You can maybe see it. It is moving. It is a floating. It's a floating pier. Ooh. And Shoshana, no, that's to be clear, they were fishing mainly. These fish were for aquariums of people. So most of these very colorful fish were not the ones they were eating, but by catching them, they were killing also the other life. So look at this. Exactly, Vivian. Nemo and all that kind of clownfish and name it. Good morning. You see the first people are coming over here. And Beth is asking, what is the local language? The local language over here is Tagalog. Tagalog. That is the local language. And after being here so many times, I know some of the basic words of it, but it's quite hard. And it's also as a foreigner that of course I'm still, even when I'm married now with Michelle. Um, it is. Oh, look how beautiful it is. So, okay, I'm just gonna show you a little around also over here. I'm now at the end of the pier. No, but the thing is, and maybe a lot of you don't know, but the Philippines, the whole country, not only the location where I am right now, um, was for a long part, for several generations, in the hands of the Spaniards. So the Spaniards that were capturing, that were colonizing a lot of countries all over the world, also the Philippines. It's even where the name Philippines is coming from. So there was one time, and we have to go back to the 16th century for that. In Spain, there was a king, King Philips, and Philips II to be precise. I know a lot of him because he was the same person that started the war against the Netherlands, the 80 Years' War, but he was doing a lot more. He was also capturing half of the world, and one of that was the country of the Philippines. So it was a long time in the hands of the Spaniards, and later on that changed, and it became part of the U.S. It became under the influence of the US for about 50 years in total. And in these years, almost everyone started speaking English. So nowadays, the whole country is bilingual. And that is, of course, if you want to travel over here, or for me, with English as my second language, that's quite easy. So everyone here, not only the people working in the tourist industry, no, everyone is speaking a decent English. So look how beautiful it is over here. And Donna is asking, do you go there for vacation or work? Yeah, I'm at this moment. I am 6 weeks in total in Southeast Asia, and that is for both. So it is a holiday, but I'm also working over here. I can work remote. At this moment in the Netherlands, it is off season, so I can prepare for the coming years, or for the coming season. In the Netherlands, that is starting in March. You see over here that locals are now going in these boats. They're preparing. They're preparing for a lot of tourists that will come later on, and doing all kind of water activities. And Beth, yeah, it is a nice office location for sure. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. But we'll only be here for 2 days. It's just to meet some people, and then we will travel to other parts of this country, to other islands. Um, because it is also, and I said it already before, this is one of the most visited places that you can find in the Philippines. An hour flying from Manila, and sorry, an hour flying from Manila, but it's really the location, the place to go to if you wanna go out, if you wanna have uh, a beautiful island, but at the same time also locations where you can party, where you can have good cocktails, etc. And Faye is saying, hope you go to El Nido. Not this time. Not this time. I've been there. That's one of my favorite locations in the Philippines. I've been there, I think now, yeah, 3 times in total. But I will go to another island that's not so far away from El Nido. That is called Coron. Hi, someone was saying taking a morning bath. Yeah, so I will, of course, I will go to several other locations and also combining it with friends and family, because for Michelle it's also one of the first times that she's back after the whole pandemic. She couldn't see her family for a very long time, so that's also why we're here. And Faye is saying Coron is also beautiful. Yeah, everything is beautiful over here. That's the problem. Every island is beautiful. The only thing is, with the Philippines, I'm just going in the water again. Um, that the Philippines gets is hit every year by a lot of typhoons. So about, it depends a little per year, so not every year the same, but about 10 to 15 per year. And Boracay is quite safe because it's a little more inwards. So most of the times the typhoons are not so tough anymore when they come on land. But other parts of the Philippines are hit very hard. Oh, look at this! Look how beautiful it is. I don't know what to show you because I wanna have a 360 camera or so. It is everywhere beautiful. And that's also one of the things. It's a tropical country, so almost all the times there's of course also rain. It's raining. It's now also the monsoon season. Um, but it is raining. It's warm, so really tropical, and it also means that you have these beautiful skies all the times. And thank you, Shirley. Thank you for the tip. That's highly appreciated. And now going in the water. The interesting thing is the water is so warm. And Sarah is asking, can you show us a close-up of powdery dry sand? Yeah, I can do that. What I will do is we're gonna walk. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Faye. That's appreciated. Thank you, Michael. Now, what I will do is I'm gonna walk a little into that direction because there's another part that I wanna show you. But while doing that, we can go to the part where we can see the sand, the white sand. So I said it already before. I have a white Christmas because this is a white beach. So, and one of the interesting things is that the Philippines is really celebrating Christmas with a lot of lights and everything. And for me, that's still a sort of strange to uh, to see that. It's strange to see that because there is because it's such a warm country. And for me, I always have in my mind the white Christmas with snow and not with the sand. So, thank you, Gil. Okay, you were asking about the sand. We have it over here. I can show you. It is very fine. The sand is very fine. Look at the beautiful pattern, of course, made by the water at the high tide. Thank you, Anita. And we have Alex in the tour. I said it already yesterday. I finally am in a location where Alex can see my tours, and it's of course for everyone from Australia. That's good to have you. And Aaron and Gail are saying or asking, or a lot of Catholics are celebrating Christmas there. And yeah, you're right. You're right. So the Spaniards left this country also a Catholic country, and that's something unique. That's something unique because most countries in Asia are not Catholic. They have still their own their own religion, also their own language, by the way. But that's a little different. So the Philippines are in that case a little have the feeling like Latin America. So tropical country where people are Catholic. And yes, Judy is saying it is certainly beautiful. I know. But you can also, if you look at the clouds over there hanging above the next island, you can see how uh, how much rain there can be. And Judy is saying, yeah, Philippines is almost 95% Catholic. That's true. That's true. There is, and 5% that is living in the southern part is Muslim. So they lost their original religion. So, and of course, in a way that is sad, but it's now a combination. It's a combination. If I'm coming here, if people are asking me like if you can describe the culture of the Philippines, then it is literally a combination of what they had here before Europeans started messing up with the situation. And thank you, Emily, that you're not blaming me, because I know the Dutch did the same with the neighboring country of Indonesia, for example. Um, no, but it's now talking about Indonesia. Evelyn is just and just joining. Um, no, but it is a combination of what there was here before, the indigenous cultures, in combination with the Spanish and also American influences. So it is a very interesting combination. And Sharon and Peter asking, will you go in for a swim after this? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I should do that. And Judy is saying, I'd never heard of this place before, so thank you for bringing us here to this paradise. Yeah. And what I said it already before, this part is the most touristy part. But you have in the Philippines also a lot of remote locations where you have this type of places, beautiful islands with almost no hotels and resorts. Not like over here. Because over here at the site, you can see it a little, there's a lot of construction, a lot of hotels. There are at this moment about 400 hotels on this little island. And just to give you an idea, the island is about 10 kilometers long in total, 10 kilometers long and about 1.5 kilometers wide. On average, it's not everywhere the same. So, and Linda's saying that's lovely to go on a remote one. Yeah, the only thing is, and I have been here before we came here. We were 5 days in the end on a remote island. The plan was 3. It became 5 because it was so remote that we couldn't come back. So, no, but not only that. Not only that. It is also that in a lot of these remote locations, you don't have reception for your phone. So that's also the reason why I decided to. And look how beautiful this is, with this lady just walking over the beach. You can see a little how warm it is. So no, but because of the reception, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna try, and on this island, I know for sure that there is reception. On some other locations, I have to check. So that in the coming weeks, I will be 6 weeks in total in Southeast Asia, not only in the Philippines. I'm also going to Bali. Um, but in these weeks, I will add sometimes a new tour. Of course, I'm also over here for holiday. So it's not only not only tours, but I have to check first if the reception is good enough. So that means that you have to check my profile. There can be last minute tours a day, 2 days in advance. when I'm traveling somewhere, I will check the location and will check if it is good enough to do a tour over there. And Judy is saying about the different languages, and it is also an interesting thing. I think I said it already before a little, but yeah, they have their own language, Tagalog, that they're still speaking. But most of the country, or almost everyone, is bilingual. So at schools, they are having lessons in Tagalog, but also but most of the lessons are in English. So people at home are still speaking Tagalog, and it has, of course, all these languages are mixing. So there's some Spanish, there is some Spanish influence in words. There is, of course, a lot of English words. So it is also a combination. And Alexander is asking, explains why they have so good English. Yeah, that's true. That's true from a very young age. And that's also why it is, for me, one of the easier countries to travel, because at least you can communicate with people. And in some other countries, that can be harder. Then, of course, you have people that are working with tourists that speak English, but over here it is, and Faye is saying, and many, many dialects. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So Tagalog is their um, official language. But of course, there are 7,000 islands, so there are several dialects. And some of you were talking about Palawan before. Agree that is one of the most beautiful parts of this country. Uh, it's one of the most beautiful parts of this country, and over there they have a local language. And my wife, for example, when she's listening to them, she's saying like, yeah, I can maybe understand about 10% of what they're saying, or maybe even less than that. And some other parts she understands a little more. And look, and in the meantime, the sun is now coming out at the other side. At the other side of the island, there's not a beautiful beach like over here. That's why I choose to take you to this side. And Helen is asking, any favorite local foods? Whoa. There's, of course, on islands like this, a lot of seafood. But not only that, also they're eating a lot of meat. And one of the most famous foods that you can have in the Philippines is called lechon. And lechon, that is basically a whole pig that is roasted. It is roasted, and it's something very specifically that what they're eating around Christmas. So the best present is to bring a pig to your family, and then eat it all together. Only I am a vegetarian, so that is for me not something that I will try. Thank you, Noreen, and thank you, Ruth. So, but if you love meat, if you love pig, to eat pig, so. Uh, And yes, Evelyn, your Evelyn is saying it is similar to the Hawaiian pig and the Balinese babi guling. Yeah, guling, babi guling. And Shoshana is asking, is it easy to get vegetarian food over here? Not all the times. Not all the times. That's also a reason why we decided to go to the location where we are right now for some days, because you have so many food options. And it's also the same. My wife, she is from the capital. She's from Manila. And in Manila, it's a very international city. So you can have all the food that you can think of. Um, but that is on some remote locations a little harder. So, and Karen is asking if you learned any of the local language. I know some words. But the thing is, it is a tough language to learn as you were not growing up with it. That's the one thing. And the second thing is, everyone speaks English, so it is also very hard to learn it, because people understand English and are responding to you in English. Okay, look at this, by the way, from some of the animals that are living over here, some of the wildlife, is making these little homes that we can see everywhere on the beach on this area, from the sand that they're eating and then pooping again. This is just sand, by the way. Oh, look how beautiful this is for a nice postcard. A postcard of some poop with a beautiful. No, it's just sand. It's just sand. Okay, I'm walking to the little island over there that we see in front of us, and that is a little piece of a volcanic island that is still here. Locals are saying that it's here already for thousands of years. So uh, it is just on. It is now on the beach because it's low tide. With high tide, yesterday I was there with high tide. Then you have to I have to walk or have to wade through the water. It was coming to my waist to get onto the island. Well, it can be until about 1.5 meters high. But it's beautiful, isn't it? It is really beautiful over here. I know. It's one of the reasons why I love to come back even more after 3 years, because for me it was also 3 years ago that I was here for the last time. Okay, let's try to get a beautiful reflection shot. And Sharon saying, good place to spend the cold Amsterdam winter. Yeah, this moment is not so cold anymore, but yeah, that is the idea. Okay, you want you like one tropical island or two? This is nice, isn't it? Maybe even more with some people or in the screen, so you see the. Hi. Morning. Good morning. And Sarah saying, so it has been 3 years since your wife has seen her family. Yeah, no, to be honest, she was here for 2 weeks before in summertime. So it's now half a year ago for her. But before that time, it was more, yeah, 2.5 years that she did not see her family. So, but yeah, she was here 2.5 weeks in June, last June. But yeah, in 2.5 weeks, and there were a million people that wanted to see her, so that's why she wanted to come back. You can see um, on this little remote rock, there are a lot of people going over there, and that is one because it's of course a beautiful, photogenic location. But not only that, it's also a spiritual place, and we can see that we were talking already before about Catholicism. Now, what we see here on this little rock is that there is, you can, I think, see it on the, you can see it over there. We have Virgin Mary standing on the island. Thank you, Evelyn. And a lot of people doing selfies over here or group pictures. Okay, let's go. Sorry. Exactly, a shrine to the Virgin Mary. That's true. But also, I can be a little higher. You can see that more and more locals are waking up, going on the beach. And look how beautiful it is. Oh, that's an interesting question. Do your Filipino friends ask you to bring them anything from the Netherlands that they can't get locally? You don't want to know how many things we brought for them. So, of course, it is Christmas time. It's also the tradition that if you're coming back from a holiday, that you're bringing a lot of presents. And how they're calling that in Tagalog is pasalubong. So you're bringing pasalubong for all your friends and family. So we had literally two big cases full of presents with them. And yeah, what was I bringing as a Dutchie? Some stroopwafels, Noreen, you're right. But also cheese. I brought Dutch cheese with me. A lot of Dutch cheese. They love it. They love it over here. Yeah, two big cases of 30 kilograms extra. So my wife had some extra luggage. So she was saying, Stefan, you can bring two cases this time, two big cases. But in the end, it was only half a case for me. And here's the shrine. There are a lot of people now coming up. You can see how. And yeah, sorry, these are the syrup waffles that I'm bringing from the Netherlands, the famous syrup waffles. Sorry. And Sarah is saying they think you're very wealthy. No, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. The only thing, of course, it is a location. So I am relatively wealthy compared to most people that are living in the Philippines, and you see that while walking over the beaches, while of course seeing the local life. Because behind all these hotels and resorts, there are a lot of tiny villages. People are living in little huts, don't have a lot. So, and yes, if you are walking here, then that means that you are also a magnet for people that want to sell you something. And of course, that is because it's also a very touristy place. In other areas, in other locations in the Philippines, you have that a little less. But yeah, there's a lot of poverty for sure. Sadly enough. In the meantime, oh wait, it is beautiful also, I think, from the other side. The sun is just coming through now. Bring your sunglasses. Look at this. With the same little island. By the way, the island is called Willie's Island, named after a resort that's called Willie's and Willie's Beach over here. Look at this. And you can see already that there are more and more people starting to come on the beach, and uh, it will get busier and busier. And if you're coming here around 5 p.m., so around 5 p.m., it will be completely filled with people, with thousands of people that are coming here because the sunset is on this side of the island. So, and Nicola is saying, "Do you fish?" No, I'm not. I'm not fishing. No, no. And I told you already before that also there is not so much fish anymore here in this area. Sadly enough. But yeah. And if you lost me, yeah, you cannot hear this. Uh, then the best is to refresh. Always the thing is refresh your phone, and then you can see it again. We can hear but not see. Say hi, okay. Thank you, Aaron and Gio. And someone's asking, are there sharks? Yeah, there are still some sharks, but also with the sharks, it's not going very well. I'm um, no, there are some sharks, but it's not going very well with them. And one of the other islands, not so far away from here, called Cebu, And on Cebu, you have the famous whale sharks. And one of the first times that I was here in the Philippines, I think it was even my first time. They were saying, "Ah, you have to do that. It's really one of the most famous things to do on Cebu." So I did that, but and it was amazing to do that, swim with whale sharks. But later on, I started realizing that that is really something destructive for the sharks because they are feeding them to keep them nearby the coastline of Cebu. Thank you, Alex. No, they're feeding them to keep them nearby the coastline. So they are not, and normally they're going from north to south and going back every year. But because of that, they're now just staying. They became lazy. So there's now more and more critics about this method. And on some locations, they decided, okay, we're not going to feed them anymore. But of course, if you're not feeding them, then as a tourist, you have less chance that you're seeing them. So then the other way it works, and I think Alex knows what I'm talking about. I think he did some tours going after the whales. There's a big chance that you don't see a whale. So and with these whale sharks, by feeding them, they could guarantee you that you see them. But yeah, and thank you, Guan and Beth. Thank you, Emily. Oh, look how beautiful it is. I cannot get enough. Shoshana is saying, are there food restrictions of what you are allowed to take into the Philippines? Yeah, there are food restrictions. Yeah, there are. They are checking for several things that are not allowed to bring with you. So, and also that works both ways. So there are also things that you cannot bring outside. And by the way, some of you was asking before, what is one of the best things to eat or to try in the Philippines? Yeah, there is a lot. But what I personally really love is the quality over here of the mango. I mean, in the Netherlands, in the supermarket, I can buy a mango, but that is tasteless if you compare it to the mango that you can get over here. So it's a lot better. Woo. We're now a little further in the water. Oh, it's good to hear that some of the locals or some people who have been here before agree that the mango is the best, and they literally have everything that you can think of with mangoes. So um, ice cream, all kind of dishes, of course, shakes. And yes, Judy, you're saying the same with banana. I agree. Also, the banana, they are very tiny. They have very tiny bananas compared to what I'm used to, at least. But they are so much more tasteful. They have so much more flavor. Oh, look at this. You see the sun is getting higher and higher. I'm also feeling it's getting warmer. Ooh. Okay, now my pants are a little wet. I was going a little too deep and there was a wave. Thank you, Hadrian. And Noreen is saying, what about pineapples? Yeah, also. And yeah, I see some of you are saying about or talking about in the chat about poverty, also about Western men coming over here and to find a beautiful life. Yeah, that's also happening. You're seeing that on some of the islands a lot. Yeah, and it's what can I say about it? It is for a lot of the Filipino women a way to escape poverty. So I don't know if it's all the time really love, but it's a contract. And yeah, you can see that on the different islands over here a little more. So for me, it was the other way around, by the way. For me, was the other way around because Michelle is coming from a richer family and had a really good paying job. Now also in Amsterdam, she is a contract. So let's call it I'm the gold digger and not she. No, no, we just found each other, and it was mutual love. There was no pressure. There was not a financial motive to start a relationship or to marry or something like that. So, but yeah, that happens. That happens. It happens a lot over here for sure. And don't use this against me, please. And Sarah, yeah, but that is one of the things. One of the things. Let me show you because I'm already 15 minutes. Let me show you my face. It's one of the things, of course, if you are traveling the world and if you're coming a little more in these kind of locations, you're seeing things. You're seeing poverty. You're seeing how hard life is for a lot of people. And you also see how people are escaping and how people are profiting from each other, and also in the Philippines itself, it is really a country with big differences. So there is a small group that is extremely rich. um, there is only a small middle class, and a very big part of the country is still very poor. They're living from several dollars per day, or not even so. And all of that is what you're seeing over here, even on an island like Boracay, because of course, because there are so many tourists coming over here, that also means that it attracts locals to come to work on the Philippines, to work for their families. So, as Sarah's saying, but people are happy over there. Yeah, but you can imagine if you're living on a location like this, you don't need a lot. So you don't have to think about your energy bills because of the heating, at least not of your gas. Yeah, maybe gas if you have a car, but not of your energy bills. Only if it's yeah. Of course, on some days it can be quite hot. So, but yeah, and it is a beautiful location. Okay, let me just show you again because there's now. Look at this. Look at the island and the sun. Sorry, I cannot get enough of these views. It's a little foggy, as you can see, and then these clouds and the sun, and I start to. I need to use my sunglasses, I think. And Sarah is saying, I have friends that retired. Yeah, it is, of course, also a place where a lot of people are coming to retire because life is cheaper than, for example, in Australia or in the Western countries. So, and yeah, you have beautiful locations, nice people, good food. So, I want to thank you for joining me today on this tour. You can see my the shadow. The sun is still a little low with my flip flops in my hand over here. Um, so, and Sharon's saying that the sunrise is taking long. Yeah, that's interesting because we're not so far from the equator. Still a little north, so the sunrise compared to the Netherlands, for example, is going very fast. But yeah, it is now and it's even the shortest day of the year, so we have not a lot of sun today. Okay, I'm just gonna end this tour. I will do another tour in some hours from now, or at least if possible. I have to check the weather report if it is possible today, uh, because that is changing per day. I have to check if I am allowed, but if so, I will. Uh, if so, I will go somewhere over there in the water, in the sea, to do some parasailing. So that will be the next tour. So fingers crossed, I can do that. Yesterday they were doing that. It is still very early, so but I have to check with the weather report because in the last week, several of the days were it was not allowed. So wait, just let me show you my face for another moment to say officially goodbye to everyone. I'm just going back to my hotel, have some sunscreen because and start using this one. So okay, different. This is a little easier. I cannot see my screen now anymore, but you can at least see me, and it's not so sharp because the sun is now really there. Thank you, Jean. I can just still see a little in the chat. Thank you for joining me today. I will do that parasailing in what is it, 3 hours from now. So I will do that from the same location, but we will be further away, and let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. But first, again, there's still a chance that I cannot do that, so I have to check that with the locals over here if it is allowed today. Because in the last week, most of the days it was not allowed because of the winds that were too strong. And of course, I only want to do a safe tour. So fingers crossed. Thank you again for joining. Thank you for all the lovely words. Thank you for the tips. That's really, really appreciated. So if you want to see or do more of these tours of this location, thank you, Helen. Then check my channel because I will add more, but that will be a lot of them will be last minute. Will really be last minute because I have to check the signal and I'm going from location to location. So and of course I also have to prepare myself a little, learn a little about the locations and everything. Thank you, Joanne. Also, so, and I hope that you had some really beautiful postcards from this location, from this island. So, and Sharon is saying, save some time for Michelle. Don't worry, don't worry. I will also, I'm also here for work, for holiday, and also to do a tour now and then. And that's of course also that is work. So, no, thank you for joining today. I'm giving you a last view of where I am, and then it's time to do something else and to have a coffee because it's almost 7 a.m. now. It's still early. It's still early.